Hello, hello, welcome. This is part one of my color along out of Mythographic Dream Garden. So this is the page that was picked. I had a couple picked out in here, and this is the one that everybody kind of seemed to want to see done. Again, if you would like to join in on the hashtag, it's Mythographic of the Month Club, and it's any mythographic, any page. You don't necessarily have to do the color along, doesn't have to be the same book, just any mythographic, any page. And then you just use the hashtag wherever you post. So for this page, I was struggling a little bit to pick colors. So I think what I want to do first is get some of this water out of the way, and that will kind of help me see what colors I want to do from there. So for my water, I pulled indigo blue, and I'm using Prismacolors, cobalt turquoise, non-photo blue, which is super tiny. And then this is a Scholar, so I do believe okay, so this is a light green in regular Prismacolor. Mine says 320 because it's a Scholar. In the Scholar it is called light aqua. There is a little bit of variance in the Scholar pencils and the Prismacolor pencils, so just be aware of that. So I'm gonna pull in a little. Okay, everything is sharpened and ready to go. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to take this indigo blue and I am going to put a layer under this water here, all the way across. And kind of darken that up. And right here where they overlap, and then the thicker lines. You don't have to do all the lines if you don't want to. You can also come back and put these in after. If your blending or layering will affect that. There's also the hidden objects in this one because it is an older book, so I'm going to color right over this and little clover here and just try to blend it in as best I can. Now, again, the whole bottom of this I'm going to do fairly dark. And I will do the exact same thing on this side. I don't know if I will color it all on camera because I feel like that's a lot of repetitiveness to watch, but we'll see. We'll get this side going. Now this page I did struggle picking colors because I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go with it, and so I don't really have a whole lot of it planned out, so we'll kind of be picking colors and things as we go. Okay, this is a tree right here and right here, so I want to make sure this water is fairly dark right up next against this tree so it doesn't blend in and we can clearly see the difference in the tree and the water, because in a couple spots they look similar. When I pick the colors of my water, I also want to keep in mind the things that are in the water that have potential to blend in. So what color you will do your mushrooms. If you do a more greenish water, are you going to lose your leaves? Just things like that to be aware of when you're picking colors. If you really wanted to get into it, your sky colors could reflect into your water as well. So if you did a pretty rainbow galaxy or pinks or anything, you could add some of that in your water as well. My next is cobalt turquoise. I'm just kind of going a little bit in my dark spots, hoping darken up them dark spots a little bit. Again, trying to just blend that clover in so it doesn't look odd or out of place. Okay, so anywhere I missed, I can come back and kind of touch up if I need to. My next color is that non-photo blue. And this is going to go everywhere just about. We're going to leave a couple tiny white spots that's going to create highlights. And I just realized I want to carry my lines through this baseball bat here, which I didn't. I wasn't thinking about it at the time, but it's another one of those hidden objects. Okay, back with the photo blue now. Oh, I colored my leaf. I need to pull my new photo blue. Non-photo blue is one of the colors that I ended up having to buy the whole set of Prismaphore because all the tutorials I watched online, everybody used non-photo blue, and it was not in my smaller sets. So I do believe this one is short from all the tutorials I tried to follow. Okay, then we're going to take that light aqua or light green, whichever you chose. We're going to fill in those white spots. Again, trying to hide this baseball bat a little bit. I will come back and add some blue here. See, this is one of those spots I missed. So we can just add a little blue there, kind of blend it out. And from here on out, it is mostly just playing to get the effect you want. You do want to stay going with the grain of your water here, so up and down, don't want to start going sideways. That just helps keep the feel of the water up and down. You can do circular motions to kind of blend your colors out, just don't scribble across the whole thing sideways. I'm going to blend out a little of this cobalt turquoise that looks a little dark and rough. And then again, I said I wanted to do this bottom section here dark. And I might even pull an Indian Throne blue and darken it up one more, but I skipped this little section right here on the bottom. So I just want to make sure I got all the water at the bottom dark. And the more we kind of blend these colors together, a little softer it will look. So some of these like dark lines down here, I will come back in and soften up a little more. I want them to stand out, but I don't want them to be like eye-catching, out of place stand out. Okay, I'm going to bring my non-photo blue in here a little bit. Skip this section with the non-photo blue. And then again, if I have any hard spots that aren't blending in with that green very well, I will just kind of add a little non-photo to those as well. Non-photo blue is very creamy, so it works good as a blender. I feel like that baseball bat is kind of ugly because it's not hidden very well, but that's right. Hopefully when we get everything else in on the page, it won't be so noticeable. Okay, so continuing on with my highlight color, the light green or light aqua. And I'm going to add a little dark blue here for shadow. One second. Sorry about the flickering. My light just started doing that and I'm not sure what causes it, but I try to catch it when it does that because I know it's annoying. I'm gonna get another one ordered. I just need to sit down and actually look for a light I like. This one was like perfect, so I'm kind of sad it's dying. But okay, then when we have all that color in on that water, I am not going to do a whole lot of areas, but in a couple of my brighter areas, I'm going to come in with this white pencil. Just kind of brighten those highlights up a little bit. And dim down anything I don't want highlighted. Some color in those smaller areas I missed or that don't look blended enough. Okay, and then we're going to do one more thing to top it off here, and not everybody likes this and not everybody will do it because it is quite tedious. But what I am going to do, and I won't do it all on camera, but I am going to come down with my lines. And if you can't see them, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not like anybody's going to know where the lines are. And I'm going to put in all the lines with white gel pen. Maybe not this one because it's kind of starting to die. It is like almost empty. Is the only time I have problems with this brand of gel pens is when they're almost dead. And even if the lines skip a little, it's not a huge deal because it's water, so. You want to make sure before you come in with this gel pen though that you have everything how you want it, everything blended out, otherwise you're going to go back and you're going to mess up your gel pen and you're going to have to put the gel pen in all over again too. These bigger spots I will fill in and cover the black line around them. Just like right here with these, so they can't be seen. Now my suggestion to you is to do both of your waters at the same time. For one, you don't lose your colors, and for two, sometimes, some days, depending on our mood and things, we color a little heavier, a little harder, so we remember what order we put the color of our pencils down in so we don't get different shades and styles going on the same piece. So I will finish my other side off camera, as well as these white lines. Just wanted to get a few in so you could see and decide if that was something you liked for your page. And I skipped a whole section right there around the... I remember now I was coming back and then forgot. Okay, non-photo blue, making sure I go in the same order. And then I will probably do those a really bright chartreuse green so they stand out against all this. Okay, so that is going to be my water. So while I'm also here, I'm going to quickly do, let's do this tree right here and get it out of the way. So I'm going to do sepia and I'm going to get it super sharp. And I'm going to color over all these dark black spots that are put in for me. Let me make sure I'm centered here. This is where we're really going to start to get that earthy feel with the water and the tree right here next to each other, which is what I'm going for. Now, if you're going to have black up here in your sky, you could also add a little black to darken this down. I'm not going to do that yet because I haven't decided what I want to do with my sky. So that was sepia. This is dark brown. You won't see a whole lot of difference in the colors just yet. But dark brown is lighter than sepia. Okay, burnt ochre. Still leaving a couple highlight spots. Circular motions going up and down. Keep that green of the tree as well. And I feel like I have touched all the brown with my burnt ochre. I will bring in goldenrod to finish it off. Now be careful with your goldenrod and your blue because yellow and blue will make green, and you'll have green on your tree, which it's by water, so it could have algae and stuff on it anyway. Okay, so now that I have that in just about everywhere I think I need it, I will come back in with that dark and any of those little lines that I missed for the tree trunk that are standing out. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in. And by hiding some of those black lines, we're just kind of bringing a more painted feel to our pages. And then my dark brown is just going to kind of blend everything together here. tame my goldenrod down a little bit with this burnt ochre. And again, if I need to, I can darken a couple areas with that black. Just a couple knots and grooves in the trees that I want to stand out a little more. Pardon the really loud motorcycle outside. Right, so there is going to be our tree and water. Don't want to start in on the lion yet because he's going to take a little bit longer. And I skipped a whole tree branch right here. So again, to keep the consistency, I'm going to go in with the same color. So I'm going to do my dark first. Make sure that's the only tree branch I skipped. Then my dark brown. Then my burnt ochre. And then goldenrod. And then repeat to darken as needed. Really bring that tree to life there. So this tree and this water will be done the same way. Me pull out a little. So it doesn't look a whole lot yet. It feels like we did a whole lot, but it doesn't look like we did a whole lot. And I did skip some water up here, so if you are following along, I need to make sure I do my water up here as well. And I don't know if they just quit drawing the lines behind the flowers right there, so I'm going to leave those for a minute until I'm sure that I want to put watercolor behind them. Again, sticking with the same order so we don't get any water that looks different, unless that's what you're going for. Totally do it. Okay. So there is part 1. Questions, comments, anything like that, please let me know. Again, you can share your page using the hashtag Mythographic of the Month Club, and I hope to see you for part 2. Thanks for watching.